The sweetest poison. Mullah Nasruddin had just finished teaching his class at his religious school, the madrasa, and was about to leave to deal with some other business. "Excuse me, Mullah Nasruddin," said a man running up to him as he stepped out of the school office. "My master has sent you these sweets and told me to give them to you personally with a message." The mullah accepted the tray, which was heavy with crispy baklava. The sweet, tasty pastry was studded with nuts, soaked in honey, and fragrant with rose water. It was the finest, freshest, lightest baklava he had ever seen. And here he was about to go out, with no time to eat it. "What is your master's message, my man?" asked the mullah, licking his lips. "My master sends you his deepest praise and gratitude. He has been testing his son, Master Hassan, on your lessons, and he is highly impressed with what you have taught the boy. These sweets are a small way of thanking you." The man bowed low and hurried out again. By now, a number of Mullah Nasruddin's pupils had gathered round to see what was going on, and the mullah knew that the moment he left, they would sneak into his office and steal his baklava. He couldn't let that happen. He quickly thought up a plan. "I am leaving this baklava in my office," said the mullah loudly. "I am not going to taste them, even though they are the freshest, most delicious-looking pastries I have ever seen." "Why not, mullah?" asked Ijaz, a bold boy and the mullah's nephew. "My mother says you will go anywhere for a good piece of baklava." "Your mother is right," replied the mullah. "I have been known to go to great lengths to get my hands on it. But the thing is," he lowered his head and beckoned to them. The boys clustered around him. "Now, don't breathe a word to anyone about this. But I happen to know that the man who sent these is a bad man. He has wanted to kill me ever since the day I ruled against him in a court of law. I'm certain that these sweets are poisoned." "Throw them away, mullah," the boys shouted. The mullah looked shocked. "Have I taught you no sense?" he asked. "If I threw them away, some starving beggar might eat them." "Bury them in the rubbish heap, uncle," said Ijaz. "What? And let them poison some innocent animal foraging for a meal? No, it's safest to leave them in my office until I work out how to get rid of them safely." He looked at Ijaz. "You are responsible for making sure no one poisons himself. That clever little trick has sharpened my wits." The mullah chuckled to himself as he left the school and went about his business. "I will negotiate well today." The mullah was right. His mind was alert and he made good, quick deals. He was soon hurrying back to his office at the madrasa to gorge on the wonderful treat waiting for him. Instead, he found his nephew in agony on the floor of the office, with the other boys crowding around him. "You greedy rascal," said the mullah, looking at the empty tray where the honeyed baklava had been. "You just wouldn't listen, would you?" He went to his desk and slumped into his chair. and then he noticed that his inkpot had been smashed. "What exactly has been going on?" he demanded. "I broke your inkpot by accident," Ijaz groaned. "So I ate the baklava to kill myself because I was so ashamed and afraid." Mullah Nasruddin stood up, shaking his head. "Try that story again," he said, "but in the right order this time." "I don't know what you mean, Uncle," Ijaz stammered. "Well, how about this version?" said the mullah. "The moment I walked out of the madrasa, you told your friends that I had invented a little story to save the baklava for myself. You all went in and guzzled my present. Then you started to worry that you'd be punished. So you, Ijaz, smashed my pot and made up your own story to escape punishment. Am I right?" "Yes, Uncle," said Ijaz, slowly getting up from the floor. The boys hung their heads, waiting to hear how they would be punished. "This time," said the mullah, "there will be no punishment." Ijaz was so desperate for the sweets that he concocted a tale to help them, just as I did. And besides, I'm delighted that he has inherited my talent for telling stories.